We're back on Morning Trade Live. Memory stocks are rallying today after Micron beat earnings estimates and lifted guidance for the current quarter based on strong demand in AI infrastructure build-out. More on those numbers momentarily, but here's the current price action for some of the biggest names in the memory space, and some of these are our best performers on the S&P 500 today. Micron shares up 11.5%. Western Digital is up over 8% right now. Seagate up 5.7%, and SanDisk is rallying hard as well, up over 10% right now. So a very good day for the memory stocks as Micron is really lifting the whole tide, as well as, obviously across the memory space today. So let's get to Marley Kayden for a quick look at what is happening right now, and certainly as far as what the analysts have been saying. You and I broke down these numbers. I mean, it was a standout from the start. I mean, as far as the beat, the guidance is concerned, we saw that nice rally in Micron after hours as well. But you've got the fun job this morning, Marley, of going through all the analysts' notes, which are plentiful as far as the price target boosts, what they're saying. Just give us a sense of, what analysts feel about this, and who's the most bullish, who's bearish, and some of the takeaways from this.
I've been in the newsroom for an hour, Sam, and I've read through 10 notes, so I'll run you through them as fast as I can. But we got a lot of sell side action today, of course, on that report that Sam mentioned. A couple of the numbers here: EPS 478, way better than the 395 expected. Revenue of 13.64 billion was a record, way better than the 12.84. But the guidance really stuck out. They're expecting 18.7 billion for the current quarter, significantly higher than the 14.2 expected. EPS for that quarter, 842. That blew past estimates, calling for 478. So those are cited in pretty much every one of the notes. B of A upgraded them to buy from hold on a stronger for longer memory cycle. That's what they're calling it. They upgraded them with a price target of $300 up from $250. They said they're changing their view about the durability of the memory cycle and the quality of Micron's balance sheet. They raised their fiscal year 26, 27, and 28 pro forma EPS estimates by as much as 80% from their prior forecast. They say there could be some volatility in AI demand, but with high bandwidth memory sold out again through calendar 2026 and customers engaged in multi-year agreements, they think that Micron is positioned for a sustainable upcycle, this time more sustainable than previous cycles. Morgan Stanley raises their price target up to $350, so even higher than B of A, maintains their overweight rating. They said, clearly we underestimated, that's a direct quote, EPS growth on very strong DDR5 pricing has less than offset the HBM that the firm might have expected. As long as the AI music plays, we believe this is going to keep happening. At JP Morgan, they also have a $350 price target. They upped theirs to $350 with an overweight rating. They said they do believe that Micron's fundamental setup remains favorable through 2026 and into 2027. They have a caveat here, though. They said that their outlook implies that revenue more than doubles over the years, but does not fully address the unconstrained bit demand, as near-term DRAM and NAND bit growth remained hampered by industry-wide lack of available clean room capacity. So they did cite a flag there, but believe things are stable through 27. Piper Sandler has a price tag now of $275. They raised their target up to $275 with an overweight rating. Wells Fargo raising theirs to $335 from $300, keeping an overweight rating. They said that their results and their guide reinforce their positive thesis, namely high bandwidth memory sustainability, demand oversupply beyond 2026, and their tech and portfolio execution. Coming back to Piper Sandler, though, they had some interesting commentary here, too. They said they handily beat November quarter results, which was largely expected, but the company dropped an exceptional guide, beating the street on revenue and EPS by about 30 and 75%, respectively. They note the company's benefiting from extremely strong pricing in the near term. They were able to raise their prices because of demand. That's cited in a lot of the notes. They also say that Micron expects supply tightness to continue through 26. They agree with that sentiment. Over at Citi, they raised their price target to $330. They maintain their buy rating. They said that they estimate the AI supercycle has come to memory, and they upped their fiscal 2026 earnings per share estimates by about 35%. That takes them above 50% above the consensus. Barclays has a $275 price target now. Micron, Raymond James $310, Mizuho $290, and KeyBank $325. So a lot of price target increases, a lot of buy ratings across the board, Sam.
Yeah, I had to double take it, Rosenblatt as well. 500 from 300 as well, keeping a buy rating there. I mean, that is just bullish. So thank you so much for getting us across some of those notes this morning, Marley. I'll check in with you later. Let's trade it now with Joe Tigay, portfolio manager of the Rational Equity Armor Fund, and an example trade for us for Micron today, Joe.
Micron with a hat trick on earnings, a double beat plus the guidance raise, and it was a staggering guidance raise. This seems like an NVIDIA moment from like 2 years ago when NVIDIA just kept on having quarter after quarter, but then having just like this blowout quarter, just way surpassing everybody's expectations. It's just a sign that the more people compute, the more computations that are happening, the more memory you're going to need. What good is the knowledge if you can't store it somewhere? So it is just a sign that the AI trade is continuing, and it's not a question. This isn't questioning can the AI trade continue. This is just confirming the AI trade is absolutely ballooning and continuing to grow. Seemingly the only constraint is the data centers. How many more can we build, and how quickly can they come online? So it's just a fantastic sign. And really, yeah, it was a hat trick for Micron, and really the market seeing a triple play in good news for the AI trade too. Good CPI numbers. Also, I think the OpenAI raising money, I think that's great news for the broader market right here. Some stability in some of that worries that is there enough money to go around for this financing. Just really cooling that idea off that OpenAI is not going to be able to finance some of its commitments. So I think that's really good news broadly for the trade in general. So I think it makes sense that the market's very positive day. My trade for Micron, just given what we've seen recently, 170% on the year right now, just a huge run up after this announcement. I still expect further growth to the upside, maybe just a little bit slower growth than we've seen this year. Shouldn't expect 170% gains every year, but just looking out, we had a 260 high recently. We're right about at 250 now, pulling back off just slightly off of the intraday high on this event. I'd just be looking out to March, something like a 240, 260 call spread already in the money. I saw it this just a few minutes ago, about $8.50. It's about what the intrinsic value is anyway. So it's essentially me getting into the name right here with a covered call, buying Micron for $8.50, covering myself at 260. I have a potential gain of $12, potential loss about $8.
All right, a good example trade for us for Micron this morning. Shares are rallying up 12.5% right now. We're at 253 and change on the name. It's our best performer on the S&P 500. Joe, thank you so much for that. Joe Tigay, portfolio manager of the Rational Equity Armor Fund.